Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I am Claire Jones, if we haven't already met, owner of Liminal Clarity, and I am an intuitive flow expert for the women visionaries, innovators, and creators out there who want to achieve more in less time with less stress, because that's what we all want, right? So I'm jumping on today to talk about how we can increase creativity, productivity, innovation, and aligned flow even in times of change, stress, and or transformation, continuing with our ascendants today, our rising signs. So if you are catching me live or if you're watching the replay, say hello, comment and tell us where you're tuning in from and what your rising sign is. I'm interested to see if there's any trends in my audiences. And before I get into the nitty gritty here, I wanted to let you know that I am opening up 3 spaces to those of you out there who want to move in harmony with your truest selves by cultivating intentional flow and productivity to achieve your life's work with joy and ease. Basically, anti-hustle culture. So if you're interested, book a call with me. I'll put the link in the comments. It'll be in the description if you're catching me on YouTube. And now let's talk about what are our rising signs all about. So if our sun is how we see ourselves and the moon is who we truly are, our ascendant is how everyone else sees us. So at the beginning of our birth charts, the placement that is at the easternmost horizon, the moment we are born, this is our rising sign. It is our outermost layer. It tells us about the masks that we wear and how we show up in our daily lives. So I am a Leo rising. And so it always shocks people that I am actually an introvert at the end of the day. Because as a Leo rising, I am a tried and true performer. I've been performing my entire life. And with a whole lot of creativity to unleash on the world around me. I am playful, fun, dramatic, and affectionate, which isn't exactly what people expect out of an introvert. But I am also a Pisces, sun and moon, and so I need a ton of alone time to recuperate after socializing. No joke, I can usually do about 3 hours of socializing before I need to go hide in the bathroom. And so this also means that I can easily fall into the trap of people pleasing and wanting admiration and respect from others in order to feel good about myself. That's the Leo rising portion. So sometimes I find myself using my Pisces adaptability skills in order to craft my Leo rising mask that I think the people around me are most wanting to see from me. I can successfully play all kinds of different roles depending on the situation. But is it the real me? Not so much. I've had a lot of people reach out to me lately and talk about how they feel like they're finally seeing the real me on my social media profiles this year since I updated my content strategies. And that is a perfect example of how I've used my Leo rising over the years to craft this professional Claire persona that I portrayed in networking situations and online to kind of make myself more professional and respectable. But there's a lot of weirdness lurking underneath the surface there that I'm just now letting out on a public platform, on a public scale. And so my task over the years has been to realign my outer mask and persona more so with my inner qualities instead of conforming to what people want me to be. Can anyone relate to this? I think there's a lot of you out there. And so if you're interested in getting clear on your own identity, I am opening up 3 spaces to those of you out there who want to achieve more in less time with less stress, with alignment. So book a call with me. The link is in the comments. So let's get into the nitty gritty with ascendants. So starting with Aries, these ascendants come off as strong, straightforward, and confident, but can sometimes be seen as too careless or lacking tact. This is the strongest placement for an ascendant, with the beginning of the zodiac falling at the beginning of a person's chart. So this is a natural placement here. They can find balance by blending their independence with their desire to connect with others so that they can create harmony in their relationships. Next, with Taurus, these ascendants come off as attractive, dependable, slow, and sensual, but can sometimes be seen as too stubborn and fixed. And so they can find balance by letting go and embracing change, tapping into emotional transformation. Next, with Gemini, these ascendants come off as social, witty, adaptable, and intelligent, but can sometimes be seen as restless, impatient, and bored. So they can find balance by intentionally seeking out the stimulation of new experiences, travels, ideas, and relationships. That constant stimulation is important for Gemini risings. Next, with Cancer, these ascendants come off as maternal and nurturing and emotional and sensitive, but sometimes can be seen as lacking boundaries and getting too involved in other people's emotions. So they can find balance by developing a steadier sense of rhythm, timing, and structure to contain and protect their watery emotions. Next, with Leo, these ascendants, like myself, come off as playful, creative, dramatic, and affectionate, but can sometimes be seen as people-pleasing and desperate for attention. My only child is just crying for attention all the time. So we can find balance by fostering individuality and authenticity in order to dismantle our fear of rejection and need for validation. So next, with Virgo, these ascendants come off as humble and helpful, innocent and shy, but can be seen sometimes as too sensitive, self-sacrificing, and self-effacing. So they can find balance by easing up on judgment in order to learn how to forgive themselves and others for their imperfections. Next, with Libra, these ascendants come off as charming, graceful, indecisive, and peacemaking, but can be sometimes be seen as too inactive, lazy, and reluctant. To find balance, they must learn to feel their feelings and trust their hearts when making decisions to develop more confidence and initiative. Next, with Scorpio, these ascendants come off as magnetic and intense and powerful and dark, but can sometimes be seen as too extreme, emotional, and impractical. They can find balance by learning how to trust and surrender, relinquishing their need for control, while also developing more steadiness to create a grounded foundation for their transformative powers. Next, with Sagittarius, these ascendants come off as cheerful, optimistic, inspiring, and restless, but can sometimes be seen as blunt, tactless, and reckless. They can find balance by becoming more discriminating, practical, and discerning in order to increase their analytical focus and refine their perspectives. Next, with Capricorn, these ascendants come off as reserved, serious, determined, and refined, but can sometimes be seen as snobby, aloof, and repressive. So they can find balance by blending their feminine and masculine selves, diving into their emotions, and learning that it is okay to be sloppy and imperfect. Next, with Aquarius, these ascendants come off as creative, independent, funny, and quirky, but can sometimes be seen as too obstinate, shocking, and just plain weird. So they can find balance by establishing communities that lovingly appreciate their unusual insights and creative pursuits. And finally, with Pisces, the ascendants come off as easygoing, imaginative, sensitive, and impractical, but can sometimes be seen as too permeable, idealistic, and chameleon-like. They can find balance by developing good boundaries, realism, and groundedness in order to curb their tendencies toward escapism and disassociation. So that's it for the ascendants for today. If you're interested in learning more, book a call with me. Let's talk about the best way to create a custom mix of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical support systems to combine the powers of neuroscience, spirituality, and wellness practices and achieve your goals while having way more fun in the process. So you too can reach and maintain flow state even in times of change, stress, and or transformation. Can't wait to support you. So, in the meantime, please join me for more of these Facebook Lives. I'll be doing a deeper dive into each of these and providing more practical tips, tools, and recommendations. I'll be jumping on next week to talk about the inner planets. So we're talking Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And until next time, remember that your authentic self is extraordinary, it is wonderful, and you owe it to yourself to create the elevated life that you know you are capable of. Take care, everyone.